Let's see if it's up. Yes, we are live. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Welcome, everyone, to all of you guys in the Healing Conversations. We are a community of people now. We're getting it done. I am Dr. Alicia, and tonight on Healing Conversations, y'all see her. I'm bringing Dr. Deb back. She's very knowledgeable. So we're so excited to speak with her tonight. We're diving into a deeply meaningful topic. It's what happens when someone feels as though they've never been truly loved because those around them are incapable of loving differently. What is that? What is that? And the title of today is J.Lo, Love and the Little Girl from Within, a healing conversation here. But we're not here to gossip and to talk about J.Lo. We're just using this as illustrations, right? Because we're really going to explore how she talked about what was she bringing up? The wounded inner child, the journey of self love, how these dynamics show up in relationships. And of course, this real life example of Jennifer Lopez. She's been married 4 times and engaged a whole bunch of times, maybe 6 or 7 times. I can't remember how many times she's been engaged. We're not here to judge her. We're here to understand attachment, these patterns, possible healing beneath this spotlight that celebrities are in. So, everybody get comfortable. Let's take a deep breath and open our hearts. And we're going to lean. I'm asking you to lean into this conversation tonight. And I just want to say hello, Dr. Deb. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Alicia, for having me. Oh, I'm so excited to have this conversation tonight. This is such a profound and deep topic for us as humans, as women of color. I think this idea around this journey of self is so important. And I think we often take it for granted or look at things on a surface level. And I'm excited to dive deeper with you on this.
Yeah, I think this is quite fascinating. And I want to be able to bring this in. Okay, so I'm going to try to, y'all bear with me. I got to try to I want to share my screen here so that I can let people see. How do I share my screen? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pull up the video because we got to watch exactly what it is that I'm referring to. I am talking about what J.Lo said. So let's, oh, here we go. Here we go. If you go to my Instagram, and just to let everybody know, what is my Instagram? Go to oh, geez. Here we go. Go to my Instagram. Where are we? My Instagram here. Here's my Instagram. Go to my Instagram at Coaching with Dr. Alicia. If you do not already follow me, please go on there and follow me. We will go to Instagram and I'm going to present. I'm going to share my screen because I think it's important for us to look at what it is that we're talking about. And my husband and I, we were being silly, not to make fun. Oh, geez, not to make fun of him, of J.Lo, but oh, hold on. Let me stop sharing. It's asking me to. What happened? Can you hear me or see me?
I can hear you now, but I can't see you.
What's going on? Hold on. I
Okay, it looks like you're
I do not
coming back.
know what is happening with the internet. Maybe I should just do my phone internet. Oh my God.
You know, there was a report on the news about some serious internet disruptions today. So I don't know if you can hear me. Technology. Okay. Okay.
Ah, there we go. Oh
You're
my
back.
God. Okay, everybody, people who are watching, we got a pretty good number in here. Please let me know if you can hear us and see us. Please in the chat say, yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can see you. Please let us know. It's what's going on today. We have like some very strange kind of technical difficulties that's happening, and I don't even understand why. So before we were here, I want to share my screen and have it up here, and I want to share my screen because we have to listen to what was said. So here we go. Yes, thank you, Michelle. You can see us and hear us. Bear with us. Okay, so I'm trying to share. Okay, share audio. Um, let's see. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I think we got it now. Let me know. Can you guys see this? You can see my screen. Beautiful. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to play this from my Instagram. Funny, I kind of did this with my husband and I thought it was pretty funny. But here's the audio of what she says. Let me turn my volume up.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back?
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them.
They
They need to appreciate the little person inside of
They
them.
have
They
little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And they gave me what they had.
right, but
They
it's
gave
not
me
enough.
all of it. Every time.
But it's this much.
All
It's a
the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you.
they didn't.
And didn't know you.
And I didn't love myself.
Right. It's tough. This is some journey, right?
It is.
And you know, I was thinking about your music. Most of your songs are about love. They really are.
They're all about love.
Do you think you've truly been loved?
Okay.
No. And do you think you really
Hold
have
on.
experienced
Okay,
loving
still
someone?
up
Yes.
here. Okay.
You have.
Yeah.
So
And when you can't get that love,
there we go. Okay, so that was a snippet of that interview, Dr. Deb. And
Yeah.
we're not here to demonize anybody. It is a journey. It's a journey of self-discovery. But she is talking about how she never quite really felt loved. And I can't even imagine what that feels like to be in a relationship with somebody and just feel like you're unloved, like that person doesn't love you. What is your reaction to what you heard Jennifer Lopez say?
Well, it was like about a minute and a half clip, but it was so many layers in
Yes.
that very quick exchange with her and Howard around her awareness that she feels that she's never received love, right? That she's given love, but she doesn't feel that she had received it. And so it's a couple of things there, right? It made me wonder a little bit about, well, what's her attachment style, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what was her level of comfort with her own vulnerability, right? Because with different attachment styles, you have um, you have this challenge sometimes with longing for someone to love you, but at the same time you're pushing them away, right? So there's this this kind of dichotomy that's happening there, right? And do you mind if I kind of talk a little bit more about the types of attachment style?
No, I think that would be great for all of us to hear, and and this is really good because you're talking about this vulnerability. How are you going to connect with somebody and love someone, have them love you if you're not vulnerable? connection requires vulnerability. And what is this push pull that's happening? We got we got a comment here that says, who would marry someone who doesn't feel someone doesn't love them? Like, right, like that's a really poignant question to ask. What happens when someone gets close to you and there's this push pull for many people? And I want you to get into this. Feeling someone close to you could be very disorienting for a lot of people who have attachment issues. So go ahead, Dr. D'Angelo, you have the stage. Explain this for us.
So, so this is a super oversimplified version, but I think it tries to make it clear when I talk with clients about understanding attachment styles, right? And so there are 4, right? There's secure attachment, and then there are 3 different kinds of insecure attachments, right? And the first one, secure attachment, looks like this. Baby cries, baby gets fed. Baby cries, baby gets fed. Baby cries, baby gets fed. Great. Baby goes off into the world and is able to trust and make connections and be vulnerable with people, allow people to be vulnerable with them. They feel safe and secure and can make deep, long-lasting connections. Great, secure. Now, when we have these other 3 types, the insecure attachments, right? The first one is anxious. Mm-hmm. And what that looks like is baby cries, baby gets fed. Baby cries, baby doesn't get fed. Baby cries, baby gets fed. Baby cries, baby doesn't get fed. So what does this baby learn? This baby learns that the world is not necessarily a safe place, that things can be unstable and uncertain. And when the baby finds that it gets its needs met, and I'm saying this as an adult, when the baby as an adult finds that it gets its needs met, then we get this word that I don't like. It's called clingy. Right? Because once it's getting its needs met, it finds it really hard to let go because it's so afraid that it's not going to get its needs met again. Right? Oh. So that's anxious attachment, right? Then you have avoidant attachment. And what does that look like? That looks like baby cries, baby doesn't get fed. Baby cries, baby doesn't get fed. Baby cries, baby doesn't get fed, gets up and goes and gets its own food. Right? Yes. So what does that baby look like as an adult? That baby looks like, okay, nobody can get inside my shell, right? It's not safe. I can't trust people. I can't rely on people. I have to keep them at a distance. Right. Relationships can be utilitarian. And if somebody does get through that, pierce that armor that they've established, then they can make deep connections, but they're never quite fully free to be vulnerable with that person. And they're just always kind of keeping them a bit aloof because they're bracing for impact that this person could leave and disappoint them, right? Then the third type of insecure attachment is what we call disorganized, right? And so what that looks like is baby cries, baby gets fed, and then gets slapped. Yeah. Baby cries, baby gets fed, and then gets slapped. Baby cries, baby gets fed, and then gets slapped. So what is happening there for that baby? In that baby is very confused because the source of love is also the source of pain. And so there is this, at the same time, desire for that love and connection, but also the pushing away because of their fear of that slap. Right. And that pain that they know comes with the love. Right. And so it could look like in some ways, it can mirror a lot of the secure attachment where they're able to make deep connections and be vulnerable with a person for a while. But because of that fear of the other shoe dropping, they're going to do something like pull the pin and blow that thing up because they will sabotage the relationship. And so it might look like cheating. It might look like dishonesty. It might look like manipulation of testing the person of, do they really love them? Right. A lot of stuff has come out after this initial Howard Stern interview. Her first husband, I think his last name is Noni Noah, he
Uh-huh.
made a response to this where he talked about how he tried to pour into her and
That's right.
she was pushing him away. So I can't, obviously we cannot diagnose people we haven't worked with, but
That's
these are
true.
just general overviews of attachment styles.
Yeah, and the thing is that what that disorganized attachment style says, I am frightened just by the sense of somebody being close to me. And then when you do get it, you as an adult, it almost like it just this is impossible. Like I am unworthy of all of these things. And I did see the first husband, ex-husband, who said she cheated on me. It's just like, what are you talking about? I gave her everything. But on some level, Jennifer Lopez must be going to therapy because for her to say the inner child,
Yes.
nobody walks around talking about the little person inside of me. So this tells us that she's throwing out terms that she must have heard before in a therapeutic setting.
Yeah, it clearly, I feel like there was clearly evidence that
Yeah.
she's doing her personal work with this,
She's,
because even her acknowledgement
yes.
that at the time when she was in those relationships, that she didn't love herself,
Woo.
right? And you know that we have that phrase, that term that, well, you can't love anybody else until you love yourself. Is that really a true statement? I don't know. There's some wiggle room there. We could debate that. But the idea of love and self-love, and they are not, they're interconnected,
Yeah.
but they are not one and the same.
Oh my gosh, this is so good. Hey, everybody. I see all y'all in here. Jennifer married. Look, someone said Jennifer was married 4 times with feelings they didn't love her. She wasted everyone's time. Well, I don't know if I see it as her wasting people's time. I think for the men she married, they themselves have a lesson to learn. And of course, J.Lo has a lot of lessons to learn. And, oh my gosh. So definitely everybody, it's a journey. Howard Stern, by the way, is one of the best interviewers. Like
Yes.
he know how to chat right to the chase. Everybody, I see all y'all coming in here. I'm Dr. Alicia, and this is Dr. Deb, and we're sitting here not gossiping about J.Lo, because I could gossip about J.Lo all day long. Not gossiping about J.Lo. We're talking about the little girl within. We're talking about wounds that we carry with us. And just to let everybody know, I'm on Instagram and TikTok. You can follow me there. I try to put information out there about healthy relationships and all the sorts there. And then also, if you are interested in working with me, I'm going to go and find, I am going to find how you can keep in touch with me. Definitely, you can text love to 87948 to get information about healthy relationships straight to your phone, free of charge. Also free of charge, you can join my book club. It's every Sunday night, draliciabookclub.com. Free of charge. All we do is talk about healthy relationships. Last night, we had a good conversation, first about having your own personal integrity, a built-in system of how to be honest with yourself and how that is the soil of which you rise and start interacting with the world with integrity, and how to do that. Because when you do well and you're transparent and you're sure about yourself, guess what? That can help fix that inner child. And it can also help you to feel good about yourself because you're making good decisions. That's what we're talking about on Sunday nights. It's late Sunday nights, y'all. And if you're interested in working with me, you're going to have to pay for it because my brain is expensive. And you can go to coachingwithdralicia.com if you want to work with me one-on-one. I'm more than happy to do that. But that you're going to have to pay. There's a paywall there. And Dr. Deb knows we're professionals. So I'll leave my website up there. And I want to continue talking a little bit more about this inner child, the hurt little child within that she talks about. Explain that to us. Like, how does that inner child wounds show up? How does that show up in relationship dynamics? Like fear of intimacy, this self-sabotage, this clinginess, this avoidance that you talked about. How does that show up in us?
Absolutely. So humans, all of us, we all operate out of our core beliefs. And our core beliefs are everything, 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 everything that we're told directly or indirectly, or experienced directly or indirectly, starting from the earliest point possible, including our attachment style. So with all of these early experiences, the two things happen to form a core belief. The things that we are exposed to by the big people that are around us, parents, caregivers, those sorts of things, but also what the small human makes meaning of those things, right? So combined is how that core belief is formed, right? So if and it's not about intent, it's about impact, because we don't have control over how the small human makes meaning of it, right? So if somebody is told you should be more like your sister, or you're not good enough, or nobody actually says that. They say things like, oh, your sister is better, or your cousin got an A on this paper, thinking that they're somehow motivating the person to try harder or be more competitive. But really what they're doing is taking an axe to that self-esteem.
Oh,
right? Because the small human could make meaning to say, well, yeah, I could be better than my sister. But what's most likely going to happen, because our brains are oriented for negativity, right? Because they're oriented for survival, right? We're hypersensitive to negativity. It's going to make the meaning of, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not strong enough. What's wrong with me? I'm inadequate, I'm unlovable, And so again, when you start to form those beliefs about self, the inner child, first it might be external voices saying that. It might be mom or dad, or older siblings, or other caregivers in our life saying those negative things to us. But what happens over time is we start to say those things to ourselves. And then the inner child remains wounded, even though the physical body grows up, and we might try to use some of these techniques to try to mask that, like the people pleasing, like the clinginess, or the stone cold avoidance, where we, like an insecure overachiever, like I, show up and I'm just about 1,000 letters behind my name, because that's the only way I can be validated, because I need to be, prove myself. But it shows up in these other ways as an adult. But if we never actually pause, do the self-reflective work, we touch the younger inner child of part of us, right? If we never do any IFS work, if we never touch our inner child part, then she's going to remain hurt, and she's going to show up, and she's going to do things like sabotage, or throw tantrums, or act up in public, right? And it's so interesting. It starts with that awareness. And I think we've talked about this, Dr. Alicia, that at 3D psychotherapy, we have a framework called the journey of self.
Yes.
Right? And so that journey of self is 9 steps, and it starts with self-awareness.
Yes.
Because one, we can't change anything we're not aware of. So this deep, reflective, inner, holistic assessment of self-awareness. Then it goes to self-acceptance, which is one of the key factors in self-love, but self-acceptance. Because when we're doing self-awareness, we're not just doing, oh, here are my strengths, right? Or we're not bashing ourselves and saying, oh, these are the things I don't like about myself. It is the balance, the yin and the yang.
Yes.
So accepting ourselves in our entirety, with our smooth parts and our broken edges, right? So self-awareness, self-acceptance. Then the next part is self-compassion.
Yes.
Because we have sharp edges. We have sharp edges. That is just a natural part of us. Some call it shadow work, right? Right? But it's there, right? It's that other part that we want to mask and hide from the public, but we have to have self-compassion. And then is self-forgiveness.
Oh,
Because when we have those sharp edges, Dr. Alicia, guess what? Sometimes they cut people,
yes.
right? And that might look like infidelity. That might look
Yes.
like other sorts of harmful behaviors to people we care about. But yeah, those sharp edges cut. And so we have to forgive ourselves. We have to. And then all of those roll into self-worth, right? Because once I'm aware of who I am, I accept it, I've been gentle with myself, and I've let some stuff go, then I'm feeling worthy, right? And that's the self-worth. And then we kind of go to a little bit of an external with this journey. And the next one is self-competence. Getting to know myself as, what am I good at? What can I do? What are my skill sets, right? And then so getting to know that self-competence, and that rolls into self-confidence. So now I know what I'm good at, and I feel really strong in my confidence of being able to do that, right? And then that rolls into self-esteem.
Yes.
Right? And then all of these factors rolling into each other, the self-acceptance, self-compassion, self-esteem, all of this rolls into self-love.
It absolutely does. And I will tell you, you have to have all of those things in order to give that to someone else. Like you have to be compassionate to yourself. How are you going to show it to other people? And it, when I hear, and I'm online more than I normally want to, but I see the comments. I see so much lack of self-love because I can see how comments are in people respond to things. I could see you don't have compassion for yourself because I'm not seeing it displayed in how you are interacting and what you're saying to other people. You're not even capable of forgiveness because you're not even forgiving yourself. This self-worth, you can't, if you know that you're not worthy, how are you going to see this kind of love outwardly? And I'm talking about agape love. I'm talking about just the
Absolutely.
love and the positivity of mankind. How are you going to transcend the human flesh to know that there's a higher power that you can even connect to on a level where it's not dogmatic? Because some people use religion and spirituality to put other people down. Like if you don't have that sort of thing centered, and you need to be, how are you going to give it to someone else? And the thing is that everybody watching right now, your ability to self-reflect is required for growth,
Absolutely.
because I just can't, people who aren't able to self-reflect cannot grow. They don't even know that the words they're saying, what impact it has on other people. Sometimes they don't even care. And I think where I am in my professionally, I am starting to see when people are able to self-reflect, then they start caring about how do you look to other people? How do other people see you? And when you start thinking about that, that's where the empathy piece comes in. It's so hard. There are some people who walk around who've never in their whole life ever experienced somebody being empathetic to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is the saddest thing. And I've been working with a lot of clients and a lot of people to try to establish this. And we're talking about healthy relationships. And I remember saying, has anyone ever treated you this way? And I'm like, I've never experienced this before. And it is the saddest thing. I'm like, let's just sit there with that. Let's sit with this. What do you think about the fact that no one has ever treated you this way? It's a really sad thing. And I always wonder, we don't know much about Jennifer Lopez's background, but guess what? We don't have to know anything about it. We can tell what it is based on what she's saying and what she does. We already know what it is. And most people can't recall, what their attachment was early on. Most people I blocked all of that out. They don't even remember, Dr. Deb. But
exactly. No, because it shows up here in the present.
It shows in the present.
That happened here will show up here in the present. And even the little bit, like the other clip that she was when she was talking to Howard, and because he was asking her about, how does she feel about not being the center of attention? And
Oh,
she said, well, I can fall back. I had to learn how to do that because my mother always had to be the center of attention, and I
woo.
had to fall back. So it's very interesting. We get a glimmer there
Yeah.
of what that dynamic was like in terms of, well, what messaging did that provide her little girl?
Oh,
For her inner little girl, not her daughter, but her inner little girl, when mom is like, right, you know. And so yeah, we have no idea what that small version of her created meaning there for herself.
Dr. Deb, this is so cool. Everybody, y'all give a good round of applause to Dr. Deb. No, she's still here. She's not leaving just yet. But we're talking about Jennifer Lopez, and we're not gossiping about her. We're not shaming her. We're not criticizing her. We love the fact that she came out brave enough. By the way, celebrities, hats off to all celebrities, because it is so hard having all your business out there. In a
Yeah.
relationship, not in a relationship, it's all tabloid news. So we would just want to give some compassion to celebrities. And by the way, I just want to say, just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you don't have a heart. Like, celebrities are people just like everybody. So we're using this as an illustration because she was brave enough to start articulating. It lets us know that she is self-reflecting and she's articulating the little girl within. And so we're having a healing conversation about this. And have been talking about attachment. If y'all missed it, go back and watch the beginning here. We had a little technical difficulties. I apologize for that, but we're here. We're live. What happened today? Something happened with technology. I woke up this morning, Dr. Deb, and I couldn't even log into my university computer. I thought, oh Lord, is the university? Yeah, I couldn't log into I couldn't log into anything this morning. So something odd is happening with technology. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I want to welcome everybody here. I'm talking to Dr. Deb, and we've been talking about attachment styles. And here I want to talk about self-love and how it affects the ripple effects of self-love, and what does it mean? So, Dr. Deb, I'm wondering, this culminating this piece about the self-esteem and all of this beautiful model that you laid out about self-love and self-compassion, all of that, how does that, when you get to this point or a certain level, I'm not certain any of us get to it 100%, but it's something we're working toward. Okay,
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's
how does this sort of thing enhance the quality of our relationship? What shifts internally that then show up externally when you start to get into this self-love?
yeah. So I like the ripple effect of kind
Right.
of self-love, right? But humans, again, all of us, we're biological at our base, right? And we know that the concept of love and self-love, their biological basis to that. And so what's happening in the brain when we have those experiences, right? First, we know that humans, we are wired for connection.
Yes.
Our two human drivers are purpose and connection, right? And so there's an area of the brain called the ventral tegmental area, or VTA for short, right? And then we have the nucleus accumbens. And so these two parts of the brain where our reward cycle exists, and where we create those experiences of having oxytocin and vasopressin and all of I call them the happy neurotransmitters that bring us joy, but really make us feel connected to another human,
Yes.
right? And so when it's like two sides. You can think of like a tennis court or two sides of a court. So on one side you have the oxytocin and the vasopressin and the dopamine and serotonin, all the other happy transmitters. And then on this side, we have things like cortisol and adrenaline and all of the fight or flight neurotransmitters and things like that keep us in a state of fear,
Oh,
right? And so when we're over here uh, in the fear part, that connection of experiencing those deep connections can be blocked, right? Which is what we talked about with the different attachment styles. What do we say? Anxious attachment, fear. You know,
yes.
I'm not going to keep, my needs aren't going to be met. And this is also like, you know, we talked about the clinginess of the anxious attachment, but there's also, you know, the bad part, the stalker part of the anxious attachment. Because I'm going to go after getting my needs met, right? I'm going to go, you know, I'm gonna call, I'm gonna text, I'm gonna call, I'm gonna text, I'm gonna, you know, I'm going after that because I'm so afraid I'm not going to get those
Yes.
needs met, right? And then what do we talk about? The avoidant attachment, right? Where what's the fear? The fear is if I let you in and you see my vulnerability, that you can hurt me.
Oh,
So I can't have that, right? So I'm going to keep you away. I'm going to do that football stiff arm and keep you at bay.
push you away.
Yeah, exactly, right? And then with the disorganized attachment style, you know, I'm going 1 minute, I want to be deeply connected to you. I'm feeling all the oxytocin and I'm making eye contact and hugging you and oh, it's lovely, lovely, lovely until it's like, oh, this is scary. I got to run. So let me go and sabotage this, right?
Oh,
And whether that looks like um sabotaging by doing micro cuts to the other person or
oof.
doing really, you know, significant things like what we talked about, infidelity or just ghosting. I think ghosting is probably the number one thing for the disorganized attachment person.
Oh,
They,
it's overwhelming. It's and what I love about what you're describing is that all of this is protecting yourself, the little person. Oh
yes.
my gosh. I just, you know, I want everybody to think about what Dr. Deb is saying because it's deep. Because all of you all who feel, some of us are in relationships with people and you can see them when they get triggered.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get triggered, you're saying and you're doing all of these things. I want all of us, the next time we are having a conversation with our loved ones, with our children, with anybody, and you start to see that, I want you to be able to form some kind of compassion for that because that is absolutely frightening. And then maybe there's a way where you can not react to people who are being triggered and pushing you away and just come out and say, look, I know you love me. There's no need to push me away. I know you're frightened right now. I'm going to give you space. Or it could be, I can see that you're frightened right now. Why don't you come here and I'll hug you? Like hugging people, like all of us with secure attachments, even when we don't have secure attachments, I think we need to start seeing each other with the lens that you are talking about right now. If we all start observing each other's behavior with this attachment lens, there's no reason to take all of this stuff personally.
Absolutely.
It is not you. It is the brain going backwards in time because we haven't talked about triggers, but people can get triggered and they're not operating from a place of current situations. Their mind and their body is going back. And if we can see that, if we can respond with that level of compassion, now it's not your job to be somebody's therapist. Don't be therapizing people. But if we start to see the world like that, all of these little children walking around wounded, if we start to see the world in this way,
Yes.
it'd be
Yes.
so great. Like, what do you be like? I guess I'm trying to move to solutions because we're coming at the top of the hour. And I don't know about y'all. I'm on Eastern time. Ooh, Lord, it's like late for me. But what is it? Some solutions. I'm saying let's respond with the compassion with boundaries because we ain't gonna let nobody be cussing me out and calling me names and stuff like that. But what is the best thing to do when you are interacting with someone such as Jennifer Lopez, who appears to be absolutely somebody who's afraid of closeness, but wants it really bad? How
Yeah.
do you respond to somebody like that?
I think you hit the nail on the head, Dr.
Okay.
Alicia. I think it has to start with compassion,
Yeah.
right? I think compassion followed by curiosity, right? In lack of judgment. So the things that we cannot do is take stuff personal, right? We can't take anything personal. We've got to stay in a space of self compassion and then be curious. Hey, I'm noticing a shift in your energy. Can you tell me a little bit about what's going on with you right now?
Yeah.
Right? Instead of assuming that the shift in energy is something I did and
Right.
go to, oh my God, what did I do? Did I upset you? Are you okay? That, with an anxious attachment style or the avoidant attachment style of, oh, your energy shifted? I'm out.
Yeah.
It's just exit left because they were quick to go. And so yeah, that compassion followed with and coupled with curiosity, I think that might be the cure. I think that if we can see our person for who they are
Yeah.
and not from a judgmental place, then I think that's a great place to start.
Beautiful. Okay, so suppose we're the one that's all triggery. Oh my goodness. Suppose I'm putting myself in the shoes of Jennifer Lopez. She, by the way, come on, y'all. She beautiful. She's talented. Her body is T, according to my children. T, that's what they say. Everything is T. Her body is T. She's beautiful. She's talented. She's smart. Come
Mm-hmm.
on. She's smart. She's funny. All those beautiful things. She could definitely get the men to come to her. Even
Mm-hmm.
she dated Puff Daddy, which a lot to say for that. But anyway, we can't judge people on these things. But you're in the shoes of someone like this who we see. I mean, she talked about every single song she ever wrote is all about love. So it is on her mind constantly. She's passionate. She's drawn to it. She needs it.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about my love don't cost a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say to some of us, even some of y'all in the chat? I see y'all in the chat. I see y'all in there. I'm reading the conversation. I'm reading the comments there. What would you say to us, all of us who feel deep down inside we really need somebody to love us, but sometimes it's frightening? What would you say to us?
Well, I think that we have to start with that self-awareness, right? Right? That awareness and acceptance.
Okay.
The awareness that we want that connection because one, we're human and we're wired for it. But when we have that desire for it, we have to have that self-reflection to recognize if the fear, if that liar and a thief anxiety starts to show up and tell us lies that we're unworthy or this person's untrustworthy or whatever lies it's trying to tell us to keep us isolated and disconnected from others. But we have to be aware of that. And then we have to have that compassion, the self-compassion. Just like we'd have compassion for somebody else, we've got to have that compassion for ourselves. And then that curiosity. Okay, body, I feel I'm activated. What's happening for me here? What are you trying to tell me, inner me or little me? Or, what are you trying to tell me? And then we can self-soothe it. It's okay. You're safe. This is not a threat. We're okay. The thing that you're reacting to is not now. That was then. We're not there. We're here. And we can ground and we can give ourselves all the love and self-soothing and self-compassion. And then hopefully be able to regulate our emotions so that we can allow ourselves to have that vulnerability that's necessary for deep connection.
Oh my gosh. I love this regulating emotions. So important. And the self-reflection is I just can't I mean, it really is the demarcation between mental health and someone who just is not connected, the anxiousness. You know, I've worked with so many clients who have panic attacks, scared to leave their house, and I start connecting the dots for them. Okay, what were you thinking? How were you feeling? What was going on? And just keep asking that question over and over again. And I tell you, it's beautiful to see these people. I left my house and I went to the grocery store and I wasn't afraid because of taking these steps. So what Dr. Deb is talking about is spot on, y'all. And you know, and I think the sad part about what a lot of people do, if you're not able to self-reflect, what do people do? Okay, everybody in the chat, what does the red pill community? Y'all know the red pill incels taking over people's minds and body. What do? They take problems in their relationships and they blame it on feminism. They
Mm-hmm.
don't internalize. Instead, every problem that's going on in their life is externalized. Something wrong with these modern relationships. Something wrong with externalizing it on these women nowadays. These women don't understand how to, and you don't understand how to, and you can't do this and you can't do that because it's too painful to be able to work on yourself. Demonizing an entire people. Come on, who is this? Ronnie, I see you in the comments. You giving some good comments, by the way. She said, I was being demonized by my family, neighbors, people I don't even know. That's toxic. Externalizing all of your issues. You are in control of who and what you choose to see. You can, everybody programs you. You can program yourself to be able to say, what is happening that I'm the common denominator? Clearly, Jennifer Lopez can do it, so y'all can do it. And when you want, and when you're ready to deal with that, you can contact me at coachingwithdralicia.com. Or suppose you don't have the money, suppose it's like, you know, jobs are unstable. You can come to, let's see, Dr. Alicia Book Club. It's free. We meet Sunday nights. I have people put their relationship questions in the Q&A and I answer them. But I have to say, it's not therapy. This ain't therapy. But if you're really looking for therapy, go to coachingwithdralicia.com. And also, Deb, what's your information? Because we got to give out your information too. How do we get a hold of Deb? Parting words. And how do we get a hold of you? How do we get a hold of, oh, there it is.
Yeah, so they can follow us on Instagram at the 3D Psychotherapy. They can schedule, if they're in Georgia and they're looking for individual or couples therapy. And we do adult dyad therapy, which is two adults looking to reconcile their relationship. So we have a trend now where friends, are having conflicts and they want to come to therapy to work on their friendship relationship, or it could be an adult parent and adult child, that sort of thing. But 3D Psychotherapy, the number 3, letter D, psychotherapy.com is our website. And parting words, Dr. Alicia, thank you so much. I enjoy coming on here and talking with you. You have such an awesome perspective on healthy relationships and helping people learn to love themselves and love others. And this has just been such a wonderful conversation. And I've just enjoyed it, from the neurobiological aspect to the very practical aspect of what can we do to make sure that we are honoring our humanness of having that connection and purpose with our people who we love.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Deb. And I see you, Ronnie. Ronnie's talking about, she is talking about Jesus. I love religion. I think religion can be a beautiful, hopeful thing, and spirituality is definitely wonderful. Jesus shows mercy. Yeah, Jesus lives in us. And so the God power in us wants us to be healed and wants us to be safe and wants us to be loved, because Jesus is love. Thank you, Ronnie. I love her comments here. He or she, I don't know. He or she. Okay, was y'all taking notes? I was taking notes. Let me quiz y'all. First of all, this is in no order because I'm writing it on this crazy piece of paper. We are all wired for attachment. Do y'all know this? Don't feel like you got to be, I don't trust anybody, so I'm going to cut everybody off and be alone. You're not wired for that. We are wired for attachment. That's number one. Y'all write that down. Number two, life is a journey. Don't be judging people on how many times they've been married. At least they tried. At least they tried to put their heart out there. Hats off to Jennifer Lopez. First of all, she didn't got 7 men asking her to marry her. So how many of you guys can say that? I can't say that. So there we go. Who wants somebody 7 times? Listen, she got the good stuff. So let me just tell you that. What a treat. She at least was courageous enough to dive in and want to love again, considering the fact that people be clowning her. So she did it again. I love that. That takes beautiful courage. Okay. We also talked about vulnerability and closeness. How comfortable are you with vulnerability and closeness? What was it scary for you growing up, being vulnerable? Was that something that was wonderful in growing up? Do you need to heal from some of that? Y'all know how to get a hold of me and Dr. Deb. Hey, anybody in Atlanta area, Georgia, look up Dr. Deb. Okay. Now, we also talking about the ability to self-reflect, how important it is, and how sometimes we want to protect our wounded inner child. We talked about that. Then Dr. Deb went through the whole thing about awareness. She talked about self-compassion, self-forgiveness, self-worth, self-competence, self-acceptance. Let me not skip that one. Self-confidence, self-esteem, all of that is required for self-love. Because Jesus loves, and the Jesus God-like part of us loves us and loves everyone. We need to connect to that. Then we talked about when experiences with your primary caretaker is scary, what that does to us and how we internalize that. And then we talked a little bit about triggers, how to deal with triggers. Y'all got it now. Love don't cost a thing. We know what the little wounded child looks like. This is a healing conversation, and part of it is showing self-compassion and compassion for other people. Did I leave anything out, Dr. Deb? I tried to.
No, you hit all the points. Thank
Oh
you
my,
again for having me. This was great. I've
oh my.
truly enjoyed it. I always love hanging out with you. This is so good.
Let me tell you, I don't get to hang out with other therapists enough. And this is the problem. So thank you, Dr. Deb, to you for sharing your wisdom tonight. And thank you, everybody in your beautiful community. I love everybody in the comments. I love you guys. I have compassion for all of you. Thank you for being here, taking out time in the middle of the night. As far as I'm concerned, it's the middle of the night. Y'all showed up. Y'all are vulnerable. Y'all putting your thoughts and ideas in the chat, which takes vulnerability. So that shows your willingness to heal. Remember, each of us carries within us the seeds to our own healing. It's the God life, Jesus force within us. I love this. When we address that hurt little child, we nurture self-love. We transform ourselves, not only ourselves, but it also has an impact on the quality of the love we invite in. So next Monday, I'll be back here next Monday night. If the God is willing and the creek don't rise, I will be here. I want to hear everybody's reflections. Everybody, y'all, share this with somebody. Share this with somebody. Hit the like button, share it. Let's get the algorithms going in our direction here, because we're building safe, loving spaces together. And here's to the journey of healing and love, inside and out, you guys. So I will see you guys next week. Lots of love to everybody. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I want to say goodbye, everyone.